I hope everyone's well. Thank you very much for making the time to attend this webinar. Welcome to the Future Proof Your Money Service Business webinar hosted by RemitONE and IPR. IPR stands for Innovation in Payments and Remittances. It's an events thing that we do under the RemitONE brand. Both brands are owned by RemitONE. This session will run for 1 hour. You can ask questions at any time during the using the Q&A tab. It should be located on the top right-hand side of your screen. This is an interactive webinar, and we will try and address as many questions as possible in real time. And we will try and leave some to the end, depending on how much time we've got left, right? We've got 60 minutes. We'll be running live polls throughout this session. Please take a moment to participate, as your input will shape the conversation in real time. I would like to introduce the speakers. We've got 3 speakers, all from RemitONE today. Myself, my name is Amer Abedi, CMO, Chief Marketing Officer at RemitONE. I've got 20 years of experience in financial technology and payments innovation. I lead RemitONE's global brand, product positioning, and partner strategy. I also head up RemitONE's IPR brand, with in-person events. I'm joined by my esteemed colleague Abu Bakr Sek, who is the Managing Director for Africa at RemitONE. Abu Bakr spearheads RemitONE's operations and growth strategy across Africa, with deep knowledge of the regulatory and banking landscape in Africa. He plays a pivotal role in helping clients scale and modernize their remittance services. Abu Bakr headed the famous Money Express brand for several years in Africa, so immense experience there. I'm also joined by my esteemed colleague Usama Kisebati, our Head of Business Solutions. Usama leads the Business Solutions team, helping clients identify, deploy, and optimize the right technology stacks. He brings hands-on experience in business development, systems integration, compliance workflows, and product innovation across the global remittance corridors. Welcome. Thank you very much, team. Glad to have you on board. A bit about RemitONE, and then we'll get right into it. Established in 2007, RemitONE is a trusted technology brand in the global cross-border payments industry. We provide award-winning white label money transfer software used by fintechs, MTOs, banks, neobanks, telcos across 180 plus countries. Our platform has processed over 40 million transactions annually, with a cumulative remittance volume exceeding $18 billion to date. Our platform has been reviewed by several regulators and central banks, including the UK's FCA, BaFin in Germany, Bank of France, FinCEN in the States, FinTrack in Canada, AUSTRAC in Australia, MAS in Singapore, and several central banks across Africa, including Bank of Ghana, Central Bank of Kenya, Central Bank of Nigeria, and the South African Reserve Bank. Over the years, we've evolved from a software provider into a strategic end-to-end solutions provider in the payments space, offering support in money service business licensing, compliance, product innovation, and go-to-market strategy. So why are we running this webinar today? So this is our agenda. You can see there are 6 boxes, i.e. there'll be 6 slides from this point onwards. As a platform provider, working closely with money transfer operators, fintechs, and banks in various jurisdictions, across the sending and receiving markets, RemitONE has firsthand visibility into the challenges shaping the remittance and payments ecosystem. We've been doing this since 2007, so we do have immense amount of experience providing software solutions to our great money transfer industry. We're constantly hearing feedback from our partners and prospects and clients from around the world. So obviously we have great visibility on the common pain points, and we're always innovating and trying to find the right solutions for our clients and partners. So some of these challenges we have summed up, these pain points that our industry stakeholders are facing, we have summed them up, and for each pain point, we have a solution, and we are going to talk about those solutions in detail. Connecting and scaling, connecting to multiple partners to grow operations. That is a pain point. and the solution is RemitONE Hub, the yellow highlighted text that you see. Then we will talk about expanding into new markets, the challenges that the stakeholders face, and the solution is the RemitONE RAS solution, remittance as a service solution. We'll talk about that. Then we move over to ensuring compliance, which is obviously it's a given. Compliance. Without compliance, there's no money transfer or payments industry. And we have the RemitONE COM solution and to address the challenges of compliance. Then we will talk about boosting speed and security, which is a big pain point. You know, the high costs related to payments and slow settlement times. What can we do to improve these? And the solution is the RemitONE Open Banking solution, which we will talk about. And finally, there is a need for modern flexible wallet infrastructure. As most of us know, fintech companies, e-money institutions, traditional MSBs, money service businesses, and of course, banks. They all need wallets. Wallets is, it's inevitable. The usage of wallets, as research data, such recent research conducted by various organizations, consulting firms in our industry, confirms you can't have a money service business or a payments business without a wallet. So RemitONE provides multifunctional wallets, and we will elaborate later. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move to the next slide, and we're going to talk about the first challenge, the first pain point, connecting and scaling. Now, before I do that, you should see a poll pop up on the top right-hand side of your screen. Please choose your response now to get maximum benefit from this session. As I said, this is real time. We want to be able to see the poll results, which we will share with you. And so we'll just give ourselves a few seconds for the poll results to come through. My colleagues, Osama, Abu Bakr, are you able to see the poll numbers? Yeah, okay, good. So thank you very much for filling out the poll. We can see that 35% believe that finding the right partners and payout networks is crucial to connecting and scaling the business. 33% say integrating with multiple providers. 9% say managing operational costs, and 19% say expanding into new regions. So it's a fairly balanced poll. Okay. I feel like I'm Chris Tarrant or Jeremy Clarkson right now with the audience's response. Okay, so with that being said, thank you very much for filling out the poll. We will now go through the content of this screen. I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Mr. Abu Bakr Sek, who will take you through the pain points and the solutions, and I'll summarize the solutions at the end of this slide. And of course, just to remind our audience, please feel free to send in your questions. We are taking live questions. Abu Bakr and Usama and myself will be fielding live questions. Thank you. Abu Bakr.
Thank you very much, Amir. Good afternoon and good morning to all our audience. I mean, depending on where you are. Bonjour à ceux qui parlent français. I'm glad to introduce the RemitONE Hub to our audience. This platform is a web service platform we built to help banks solve one big issue they have. Banks and mostly, payout partners. Banks in Africa, for example, and America used to play with different partners and different solutions. So this can bring lots of issues, security and so on. And we have built this platform so that they have one single interface to connect with all their partners. So the RemitONE Hub is a solution with one single API and one single interface to help a bank pay the transaction of their partners such as RIA, MasterCard, MoneyGram, Orange, and etc. It will allow them to expand easily their operations into new regions without effort. It allows, of course, to boost their revenues and multiply the numbers of partners they have. It integrates easily with their existing partners or future partners in the mobile industry or payment industry. And it helps gain more clarity and control over the partners they choose going forward. So it is a very interesting and flexible solution, allowing, again, our banking clients or MTOs to use one single interface to connect with multiple partners. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'd just like to add to that, jump in there, guys. So the poll found that 45% of you said that finding the right partner and payout network was your number one issue. Now, as Abu Bakr mentioned, the RemitONE hub, it has these existing integrations within the system already, and RemitONE as a corporation, we could assist with connecting you with those partners. So not only do we have the tech side, but we have partnerships with a lot of these payout networks, and we could introduce you to the right partner for the right corridor that you're looking for. And just to a little bit more emphasize on the type of controls that you have, I think when you do have, I mean, it's not so bad when you have 2 or 3 partners, but when you are working with maybe 30, 40 different pay-in and payout partners, and essentially you're not sort of providing them with all the same agreement, you might have a different revenue shared structure with each one, or a different fee structure with each one. And how do you manage that? And how do you manage that under one interface, one seamless interface? And I believe the RemitONE hub provides that.
Yeah, thank you, Sama. So to summarize, the RemitONE hub, the solution of, there are 2 components here. One is the various integrations that our stakeholders will have to do or are doing at all times. The second challenge is the interface and how you access those integrations and how you facilitate, create those transactions, pay out those transactions. You can have your own system that's doing this. You plug into the RemitONE hub, and RemitONE hub will bring all those integrations that it has to you. That's the RemitONE hub through the one single API, right? And this is tried and tested. As I said, we've been doing it since 2007, and RemitONE has multiple integrations with all the big names out there that you can think of. That's part of the RemitONE hub. But the other aspect is accessing those integrations through the RemitONE's own user interface. Yeah, so you can see some of the big names on the screen. You can access them either through a single API or through the RemitONE interface. Yeah, our platform, just some numbers, over the years, we've got access to 2.5 billion bank accounts. So by you plugging into RemitONE, whether via API or through the RemitONE interface itself, you have access to 2.5 billion bank accounts, 1 million branches and agents, 3 billion wallets, and over 730 airtime operators. RemitONE is a platform on which the entire money transfer payments, cross-border payments business runs. So any integration with third parties that our clients need, RemitONE, they will come to RemitONE, and RemitONE is a facilitator. It's the bridge. It's that brings all the stakeholders together, which is the reason why we have access to all these numbers that you see. Thank you. And I'll move on to the next screen. And this is regarding expanding into new markets. I appreciate, once again, if my respected audience members could kindly check the poll and fill in the poll so we can get some data that we can share with everybody here. So the numbers are coming through.
Okay, guys, and just while we're waiting for those numbers to come through, just a little explanation on who the RAS service is for, or how does it fit into maybe an individual corporation. The call them usual suspects are the ones who want to start a new business, right? So they're your fresh startup. They don't have a business and want to start a remittance company. Okay, your second sort of what we call client would be those who are already licensed and want to expand their send network. So, for example, you might be licensed in the UK as an API license holder, and due to Brexit, you can no longer passport, and you might want to again expand your send network. And then thirdly, it would fit for banks and MTOs that currently are licensed and sit on the receive side and want to expand their footprint to also have a presence on the send side. So rather than, at the moment, they might be doing your usual, having the likes of RIAs and MoneyGrams, other third-party agents, sending them transaction instructions who are licensed in the send area. They themselves can then be licensed and have their, as a sub-agent, have their operations in the send country as well.
Osama, I just want to share the stats with you and the audience. So we've got 52% of the attendees say obtaining licenses in new regions is the biggest challenge. 17% say finding local banking partners is the biggest challenge. 14% say compliance and regulatory burdens, and 14% say high setup costs. Yeah. So the largest percentage. So yeah, I mean, the RemitONE RAS solution addresses all these points. But yeah, it's interesting to know that getting licensed is the biggest problem, and that is exactly why RemitONE has put together the RAS solution. The RAS solution, you've got a table over here that you can see in terms of licensing and bank accounts. There's a comparison between traditional licensing versus the RemitONE RAS. You can see there's a big difference in the setup time, because when you go down the traditional licensing route, not only are we talking about licensing, we're also talking about bank accounts, which is obviously a big issue in our industry. And you can see 12 to 24 months, which is very long. And then of course the upfront costs. The upfront costs of working with a bank account provider and the regulator versus a RemitONE remittance as a service model. There's a big difference in costs, and also your go-to time, is significantly reduced with the RAS setup. And this is what we're witnessing everywhere. Yeah, you see, in many ways, RAS is like RAS is like an OPEX model versus a traditional CAPEX model, right? It allows you to manage your budget, on a monthly basis, and outsource a lot of the headaches that are not for you to deal with. The whole idea of RAS is give the responsibility of licensing to the right partner, give hand over the responsibility of tech to the right partner, and you do what you do best, which is remittances, right? Or payments, or cross-border payments. So that's the whole purpose why we have put together RAS. And by the way, because we are on the ground and always talking to clients and partners day in, day out, we can see the feedback. The feedback is RAS is the way forward in our industry. Yeah, this is not data. This is firsthand knowledge that we're witnessing, which is why we had to put these solutions in place. We launched the solution in the UK already. We have launched the solution in Europe through our partners. And now we are just finalizing the solution for the US and Canada as well. So that's some news for you.
So to give you guys an idea of the actual solution itself, I know you're in the poll. You can see obtaining a license in new regions is the number one issue. So with the RemitONE RAS solution, essentially what you're doing is you're partnering with an existing licensed entity. So they are licensed in either UK by the FCA or licensed over 30 jurisdictions in Europe, and they will be registering you as an agent. So for example, in the UK, what we call a PSD agent, allowing you to be able to do exactly the same operations as them in terms of doing remittances. As Armin mentioned earlier, along with the registering you as an agent for themselves, they'll provide you with the bank account, and also as they're the ultimate license holder, they'll also provide you with the a way to collect those funds, your client funds, either through open banking or payment gateway. As they are the ultimate license holder, where RemitONE fits into this seamlessly is that we provide our client with the front end interface that is in line with the regulatory requirement of those 30 jurisdictions around Europe and the UK. And then it also plugs into the partner system in order to send them over the transactional data and onboarding data as they are the principal license holder and they need to be carrying out their own checks. So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, just fielding some questions here from our esteemed audience. So any other regions outside EU and UK for the RemitONE RAS solution? Thanks, Bob. Yes, we are just finalizing. UK and Europe is done. We have a solution in place. We have clients. We're just finalizing US and Canada together through our partner. So those are the regions that we've got covered. And Osama, there is a question for you. What do we need as a company looking to start cross-border payments to sign up for RemitONE RAS? What do we need in place? So I guess maybe if you can split your response to what do they need for UK, what do they need for EU?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll start with the EU one. The EU one at the moment is mainly geared to or currently licensed entities in another jurisdiction. So it's for the likes of if you're API licensed in the UK and again you lost your passporting rights and you'd like to expand your network over Europe. A lot of the times, again, you need to be already licensed in one jurisdiction. A lot of the times you already have your partners in place. It also fits in and works well with the banks and MTOs sitting on the payout side. Yeah. So again, they're already licensed in the payout location. Essentially, what they're doing is becoming a PSD agent for them, but they must have again a representative and an office. Yeah. And at a minimum, like that could be one person, and then essentially what they're doing is paying out themselves, right? So they'll be collecting the euros, they'll be going into bank account in Europe. They will pay out locally, and then they have visibility and control on that euro account to make instructions that then sweep every now and then. So that's that side. You do need a license in place to start with. The UK side is slightly different. You don't need a license in another jurisdiction. However, again, you will need the office in place. You will need the one representative. They need to be they need to pass the fit and proper testing as well. But we can speak to you a little bit more about the details if you'd like to get a hold of us after the webinar.
Yeah, we will share the contact details and Calendly links, etc. At the end of the webinar as well. There are lots of questions actually coming through. Do you provide software services in Australia? Yes, we do. In fact, see, RemitONE is a technology provider. We are an enabler. It is the licensed entity that uses RemitONE and takes it to the central banks, and we get approved from a tech perspective. Austrac has seen RemitONE system, reviewed it. We have integration with Austrac. You can generate regulatory reports for Austrac, which is the regulator in Australia. So we are very well versed in the Australian with the Australian landscape. The solution approved by Bank of Spain, RemitONE solution, has been evaluated by a number of regulators. I mean, just in the EU alone, several. We've had clients from Spain over since inception. We've had clients in various jurisdictions, all across. And I think, as you're aware, in the EU, you can passport the technology stroke license to other regions as well. We are approved by BaFin, Germany, the Scandinavian authorities, Sweden, and Norway, and we are approved by various other regulators in the EU specifically, but you can always passport the tech. So just to summarize, there are many questions coming through. We will try and make time for them to, at the end, so please bear with us. So just to summarize, remittance as a service, RemitONE RAS allows you to partner with a licensed entity and launch in new markets quickly without upfront licensing costs or operational complexity. RemitONE RAS enables entry into 30+ EEA markets, that is the European Economic Area, through passporting via regulated partners. RemitONE RAS supports both sending and receiving side use cases, and it's ideal for banks and MTOs with large distribution points in their country, which the diaspora in the sending markets instantly recognize and trust. It's also ideal for fintechs and MTOs in sending markets with a large customer base, as it reduces upfront licensing and bank account costs for them. So please, feel free to reach out to us. We would be very keen to speak to you. We'll share the contact details, as I mentioned, towards the end of the webinar. I'll move to the next screen. Again, please appreciate if you can answer the poll and give ourselves a few seconds to get the poll numbers in, and I'll share them with you. How does your business currently manage compliance and fraud prevention? There's quite a bit to unpack here on compliance. Okay, so give ourselves another 5 seconds, 10 seconds to get more responses. Okay, so 21% say manual compliance checks. 28% say third-party compliance tools. 34% say in-house tech solutions, and 15% say we struggle with compliance issues. The largest so far is in-house tech solutions, which is obviously where we come in and help. Our compliance solution, my colleague Abu Bakr will elaborate, but I just wanted to say the RemitONE compliance solution, we have historically, RemitONE has always taken any opportunity to present our solution tech platform to regulators, which is the reason why we can confidently say that a number of regulators worldwide have reviewed the RemitONE system. And we've got clients, the proof is in the pudding, we've got clients in various countries using the RemitONE system. Some regulators are very stringent, and we have gone through that with them. So they're very happy with the system. Our system does various things. Our compliance manager, tool is, it can be used in different settings. Yeah. So there is one setting where you are an MTO or a fintech or a bank, and you need a compliance solution, configurable compliance solution. That's where RemitONE.com will help. If you are an EMI, an e-money institution, or a neobank, and you are issuing sub-accounts to other MTOs, other businesses, RemitONE.com can help. You track all transactions and payments, incoming and outgoing. If you are a regulator, a central bank, and you want to track, which is the need of the hour, by the way, track all incoming and outgoing cross-border transactions, RemitONE will allow you to do that. I mean, there are many countries where, the actual incoming remittances are in excess of 20 billion, but the central bank has visibility on only 5 billion. The RemitONE.com will allow you to gain visibility on this. We have a foolproof solution. Yeah. By the way, these solutions are live, being used in live environments. The EMI solution and the EMI solution, which I talked about, where you issue sub-accounts, which neobanks can issue sub-accounts to, that is live. Yeah. So, and of course, the RemitONE.com product by default, which is being used by over 100 money transfer companies, fintechs, and banks around the world, they're already using this solution. What I'll do now is, while I go through the questions, I'll hand it over to my colleague Abu Bakr, who will go over the bullet points here that you see on the screen and elaborate. Thank you.
Thank you, Amir. We know that one of the biggest challenges the players are facing is how to manage fraud and maintain regulatory compliance in their business. So this is where RemitONE.com can help a lot. This engine has already received several awards, and our clients are very happy using it. What it helps them do is very simple. They can manage easily and with lots of efficiency all compliance and fraud prevention issues. The platform is already integrated to many sanctions and PEP lists. It allows to do real-time checks against all OFAC, EU, UN, etc. lists. It allows our clients to do volume and velocity monitoring, to track linked transaction and track all transaction that can trigger, compliance issues. It has as well risk scoring functionalities and liveness checks. So this engine can allow our players all around the world, being banks or MTOs or etc., to really manage in real time all risks they face in their business. Regarding now the RemitONE RCOM for central banks, as you already stated, central banks have problems of visibilities. What is happening, they have problem to know what is happening really in their country, and have problem as well to control what the players are doing. So RemitONE Central Bank Com will allow them to have all the visibilities they need, all the statistics, and do all the checks they want to do to control the remittance operations in the countries. Thank you.
Thank you. As a money transfer solution provider, cross-border payments technology firm, we have to date processed over $3.5 billion through the system annually. We do 55,000 compliance checks per day. We do 80% of the manual compliance tasks are automated, and we have access to over 350 global PEPs and sanctions lists through the RemitONE system. Of course, some of these things are accessed through our partners. But yeah, RemitONE is a facilitator. I'm going to take on some of the questions here. There are quite a few questions that have come through. We'll try and address them in a comprehensive way. RemitONE is a facilitator. We work in different markets. It's very difficult for us to exclusively partner with one particular supply chain member and offer the solution everywhere. We can't do that because we are dictated by our clients. Our clients come with pre-existing partnerships and relationships in different countries. One particular partner will not be able to cater to the various jurisdictions that we service. Hence, RemitONE as a facilitator works with different partners in different regions. We can always integrate with our clients' existing solution providers through API. We also do integration with FTP and so on and so forth. But yes, that's what we do. Integrations is a big part of our business. The RemitONE system, each month we add hundreds of new features into the system, and it's very, very configurable, right? We've been doing it for since 2007. So we cater to different jurisdictions and clients, and obviously they'll have their own bespoke needs. If you're in the US, if you're in the state of Georgia, you will have specific needs, which will vary from your requirements in the state of California, for example. The system has lots of configurable options, radio buttons, etc., that you can use as an admin and apply and enable those specific features for your jurisdiction. Yes, the system can be used in any continent. Yeah. So I hope I've addressed that. One of the questions is around fund settlement, Osama. If you could kindly address that. How does the fund settlement work? Pre-funding or post-funding? We do both. Yeah. Sorry, Osama, if you want to elaborate.
Yeah, so that actually been negotiated directly with the pay-in or payout partner that we introduce you to as part of our service. Where RemitONE sits, it's the software, it's the APIs that strings all the systems together. So if you wanted to extend your network and you're using the RemitONE system, we might already currently have an integration with a provider as particular corridor. We could introduce you to them, and they're always happy to speak to speak to our clients, and we do referrals all the time, as you're all aware. This is a numbers game, and the more someone does, the cheaper it is for them, and they're always happy to look at new business. Once you've agreed with them the terms, post fund, the pre-fund, provide you with the bank to fund, and then obviously provide you with credentials, we would simply configure that on the system and turn that integration on very quickly for you. So hopefully that's answered the question.
Yeah, thank you, Osama. So to summarize, before we move to the next slide, RemitONE provides real-time risk monitoring and automated checks, OFAC, UN, HM Treasury, EU sanctions, and so on and so forth. We cover KYC, liveness checks, selfie liveness checks. We provide volume and velocity checks, linked transactions, risk scoring, and linked beneficiary monitoring. The RemitONE RCOM, Regulatory Compliance Manager, as Abu Bakr mentioned, is a specialized solution for central banks. And it also works for sub-account providers like e-money institutions and neobanks who are providing bank accounts to other MTOs and fintechs for all inbound, outbound remittance flows in real time. We will now move over.
Sorry, just before we go, Farid Sam, he's got a specific question in there. Can we upload specific custom PEP-lists into the system? So absolutely. We do integrate with or have connections with the usual OFAC, DFAT, HM Treasury, so on and so forth. But if you'd like to upload your custom list, black lists, white lists, you may absolutely do that. And do the availability of the features differ depending on the region? E.g., US will be different from the UK. The features in our system do not change. The technology doesn't change. However, what you must sort of take into consideration is, like, for example, your partner, you might use our system for the US. Now, how prominent is open banking in the US? Yeah, I mean, are you going to find a partner that's going to offer you that service for us to plug into, one that we plugged into already? It might not be offered in that region, but in terms of like the other features and functionality, yeah, absolutely, it will be all available there for you.
Thank you, Osama. All right, I'm going to switch to the next screen, boosting payment speed and security. Again, requesting our esteemed audience to respond to the poll. What's your top priority when it comes to payment processing? So we'll give ourselves a few seconds for the stats to come in so I can share them with you all. What's your top priority when it comes to payment processing? The options are there. So the stats are, the top priority, according to the audience, is 50% say lower transaction costs, 16% say faster settlement times, 23% say stronger security and fraud protection, and 19% say better user experience. So, you know, we have conducted these polls in the past. There are a few numbers that have really risen starkly, like user experience. I mean, it's 17, 19%, 17%. So you can see the growing importance of UI and UX here at play. But lower transaction costs is 44%. Yeah, so that's a considerable number, right? And what I'll do is I'll just mention, I'll set the scene, I'll hand it over to Osama. RemitONE provides open banking solutions to the money transfer industry, to the payments industry. They help you bring down costs. And we work with multiple partners as well, right? So you might be working with partner A in country A, but we've got the flexibility to work with partner B in country B, and so on and so forth, right? We're not isolated. We're not fixed to one party because we're a facilitator, and for the reasons that I highlighted earlier, we work with all partners. We're always flexible, and we're always open to do new integrations with new providers. So feel free to reach out to us. Yeah, Osama, please, I'll hand it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Naomi. So, and this might sound silly, but are you all aware of what open banking is? I think first of all, or direct to bank, some people call it the direct bank, direct pay, direct to bank. Essentially, what's happening is that it's another way for you to settle for your transactions, and this is achieved by the software connecting to the individual's mobile banking app. And so, for example, if I was to pick up my mobile phone, you can see I'll have my banking app with Santander or NatWest or whoever it is. Now, when I'm creating a transaction in the mobile phone app, it will then give me an option to choose the bank that I bank with. It will automatically then send a message to my app with the amount that needs to be debited, and I will then go through 2FA as usual as I would through my app. So either my thumbprint or my facial recognition to authorize that payment. And then the payment be carried out as a faster payment, as a UK faster payment. And it's very, as you can imagine, very quick, as it's being sent as a faster payment. Number two, user experience, the UX. It's no one's fumbling through to find their credit card or typing in their expiry numbers on the back, or might get it incorrect, or the camera might not work right when they're trying to capture their credit card details. Sometimes they have that option as well. So it sort of eliminates that. Yes. However, the biggest sort of advantage, and obviously from the poll it can also show that as well, it's the cost. A lot of companies that offer these services have a flat fee. So they will charge, and depending on your volume, a flat fee for that service, where some of the other services like the payment gateways, they'll come with a fee and possibly a percentage of the actual transaction size itself. So it sort of addresses all of those points and even the major ones. So it's a better experience for the client. It's nice and easy for him. It adds stronger security as well, because he's actually going through the 2FA through the mobile banking app of himself. Obviously, people could, again, pinch your details or pinch your credit card and make transfers with it. In this case, they would need to pinch your thumb probably and pop it on the app to try to, again, approve that transaction. So there's more there's more security involved there. And then the faster settlement, as we mentioned, it's a lot of the times with payment gateways, you will have a T+1, T+2, depending on your partner. With this solution, there's it's more of an instant settlement, and there's not much else to it, guys. And I think that's the whole purpose behind it. It's supposed to be quick, safe, simple, and easy to use. So those are the main benefits, and of course the lower fees.
Yeah. So just to summarize, yeah, sorry, go on.
No, I was just looking at one of the questions that we've had come in. We have open banking is predominantly at the moment. You're looking at UK and Europe. It's starting to gain traction in the US. We have a partner, I believe, WorldPay, that provides it there, but it's not as predominant as sort of UK and Europe. Yeah, of Europe we have other similar types like Sofort as well, who I believe now is part of Klarna. But that's another similar way that you can make transactions, that you can collect transactions. Sorry, but yeah, go ahead, Ahmed.
And there's another question: what if my jurisdiction does not currently support open banking? As I think, Osama, you've touched on that, but just to elaborate, there are different payment solution providers in different jurisdictions. If we haven't, if there is no open banking there are alternatives. The standard payment gateways, payment processors. We work with some of the biggest payment gateways and payment processors around the world, which have the largest coverage. So we can always, please do come and speak to us. Share the country where you want to operate, and we'll find a solution for you. Because remember, RemitONE is connected to all the main payment processors and open banking providers out there.
So I believe, like, Arme, you being a Canadian, you can probably confirm this. For example, Canada, they have Interact, which is an email way of collecting funds and sending money between each other. So each jurisdiction will more than likely have a certain way, like Europe with the SOFR or the open banking, UK with the open banking as well, and the Canadian with the I forget the name again, the Interact.
Yeah. So to summarize, open banking integration for direct bank-to-bank transfers is available through the RemitONE platform, which basically means faster, cheaper, and more secure, payment methods for our clients. Wholesale pricing is available via RemitONE's third-party partnerships. See, RemitONE, you have to see RemitONE as a one-stop shop solution. Because you are running your entire business operation on RemitONE, you have the flexibility to get wholesale rates from us. And those rates are unmatched because we work with partners in the background in different regions. And of course, we can always come up with bespoke pricing and bespoke solutions for you. Yeah, so please feel free to reach out to us. We're always here to answer any questions. What I'll do now is I'll move the slide to, the future proofing slide. I'm mindful of the time. We want to leave some time, 5 minutes for Q&A, ideally 10 minutes, but let's see. Future proofing with multifunctional wallets. I will ask Usama and Abu Bakr to elaborate. There are two scenarios here, of course. We need to just define what we mean by a multifunctional wallet. Wallet is a given, as I mentioned at the start of this webinar. Wallets, it applies to fintechs, e-money institutions, small e-money institutions, authorized e-money institutions, neobanks, mobile wallet providers, telcos, and so on and so forth. You can't do anything without a wallet, and that's where. So, but we have to define a wallet must be packed with powerful features. It needs to be, you need to be able, what the consumers want is to use one wallet and make various types of payments. Need not be remittances. They can make remittance payments, airtime wallet payments, prepaid card payments, Netflix payments, airtime, and so on and so forth, right? And of course, you can have stable coins and blockchain based on blockchain tech. And RemitONE, being a facilitator, taps into all these networks. We tap into airtime networks, we tap into utility bill payments networks, we tap into blockchain networks through our partners, giving you access to giving you the ability to top up stable coins via stable coins, your wallets, etc., and so on and so forth. So with that being said, I'll hand it over to my colleague Usama to elaborate on the bullet points you see on the screen. Oh, my apologies, we didn't do a poll. So if you could kindly fill out the poll here. What's your perspective on using digital wallets for evolving payment use cases, including blockchain and stable coins? I appreciate if you could respond.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's two real wallets you could look at in a scenario. There's the wallet for the end user, the individual, and there could be the wallet for the corporation, for the agent themselves. What we're looking at first of all is the wallet for the individuals. And what a wallet is essentially is that you have the infrastructure in place to hold client funds indefinitely, and then the software, which is the RemitONE software, in place to manage the checks, the balances of each wallet that's connected to that pot, that fund, let's just say, of money. Going on from that, what else can they do from that? So obviously they can receive into their wallet. They can then draw down from their wallet. They can send to another wallet. They can make other types of payments. Let's just say I might want to build a cash collection, but I want to fund it from my wallet. So my cousin could go pick up the cash, but I'm paying for it from my wallet. going on from that, making utility bill payments, as Ahmed mentioned, some the mobile top-ups. And what we're seeing more and more often is the e-commerce side of it, yeah, where people can pay for goods, services, and also subscriptions. So subscriptions is coming up pretty fast. So where we've also seen the wallet being taken up quite aggressively is obviously the African market, sub-Saharan African market, where there's a large unbanked community, and through our software, again, you're able to offer e-wallets and connect to others like Orange if they would like to make wallet-to-wallet transfers. So it increases inclusivity as well. There are specific licenses that you would need to run a wallet, like in the UK and Europe, we call it what we call EMI licenses, which is slightly different than your typical remittance licenses, because no longer are you just facilitating a payment, but you're actually holding on to client funds indefinitely or anything else. So generally that's what we're looking at.
Just want to share the poll numbers, Osama, if you don't mind. Yeah. So I'm sure the audience is keen. So the question was, what's your perspective on using digital wallets for evolving payment use cases, including blockchain and stablecoins? 24% say we're already offering or planning to offer digital wallet functionality to their customers. 48% say we're interested in exploring digital wallets and emerging use cases. 28% say we see potential but need more information, and 0% say we're focused on traditional payment methods for now. So nobody seems to be, from our audience, nobody seems to be interested in traditional payment methods. They're all looking, at innovation. So that's interesting. Again, I'll just mention, with RemitONE's wallet, you can see RemitONE has its own ecosystem of clients and partners. We have RemitONE clients, white labeled, and which are being used by fintechs and banks in different regions. You can do wallet to wallet transfers this way, from one RemitONE white label wallet to another RemitONE white label wallet anywhere in the world. That's a simple scenario. But then you have RemitONE, what you can send from RemitONE wallet to a third party. This could be a wallet by Africell or MTN or OnAfrique or the various providers out there. You can do, from that same wallet, you can do utility bill payments and airtime top-ups through our partners, Ding, etc. And you can do the same with blockchain stablecoin providers that partner with us, which support over 60 cryptocurrencies, stablecoins, etc. As far as I'm aware, if not more. So if you are a fintech player and you are interested in offering wallets to your customers, it doesn't have to be remittances. It could be anything. Come and speak to us. We will have a solution for you. So with that,
I just want to answer some of the questions on the right-hand side. Is there a timeline for Canadian MSBs? So we don't have anything in the pipeline at the moment. Our next one would be the US, but again, things may obviously change. So, and we will send out any communications if we do go down that direction. But which follows on to the next question. When do you expect to have the RemitONE RAS available in the US? We're fingers crossed, things are, but we're fingers crossed, we're hoping timeline. We've started engagement. We're looking at 2 or 3 weeks, hopefully, before we get everything signed off.
There's a question, and it's an interesting question. It's a good question, very good question by Farid. Can I work with my own front end for wallets instead of using yours? Absolutely. The platform RemitONE, we offer maximum flexibility to our clients. They can use their own systems, or they can use RemitONE system. Whether it's our front end, you will need the back end, of course. But the front end can belong to you. It can belong to us if you don't have a front end. When I say front end, I'm talking about a mobile app. I'm talking about an online portal or a website through which you as a client interact with the customers. So that can be yours if you want to. Yeah. The RemitONE platform, you have to see the RemitONE platform as as you see, I don't know, an Oracle database or a Linux operating system or PHP as the scripting language, you need the RemitONE, core system if you are in the business of fintech payments and cross-border payments. So whether you're a fintech or a telco or a bank, if you need a system, a platform to access the various integrations, the various wallet functionalities, payment methods, and so on and so forth, you need a RemitONE hub-like technology. Yeah, it doesn't have to be RemitONE. It could be somebody else that's providing the same thing as RemitONE. But of course, it has to. You need something like this. Yeah, so that's the best way I can explain the importance of the RemitONE core system in the payments space. With that being said, what we'll do is we've got 5 minutes.
So it is a question of Farid.
Yeah,
can I issue wallets without
please.
being licensed?
Sorry, so Abu Bakr, you said there was a question here. Let's take that question.
Yeah, from Farid. Can I issue wallets without being licensed? Good
question. Depends on the jurisdiction. Firstly, my understanding is that if you are going to issue wallets, if it's payment wallets, then you do need to be regulated. But if you're working with a regulated entity and you are an agent or a PSD agent, then I think you can make this work. Because you are writing off of the license entities license cover, and the bank account. Yeah, so there are different ways that you can. In fact, our RAS solution addresses this. The RAS solution that Osama talked about. If you want to issue wallets, you have a big customer base, and you're not licensed yourself, come speak to us. The RAS solution can help you. Yeah. So. Yeah,
we've got another question from Anonymous. Also noticed that you haven't shared pricing. Could you advise on pricing? So our pricing is bespoke. We'll be sharing our contact details after the webinar. So if you are interested in finding out a little bit more about costs and pricing associated with each one of our services, please feel free to get hold of us, and we can take that conversation up with you.
Yeah.
Is there a limitation of the number of partners, platforms to plug into R1 Hub? The simple answer to that is no. Yeah, so you can have as many partners plugging into the RemitONE system itself. The only thing I would advise or to look out for is obviously the server infrastructure that you're using, and is it able to handle the load of the API calls coming backwards and forwards. But again, we can advise on that to make sure we do things like monitor our server and things like that if we were to take on that responsibility of hosting. But again, we can advise yourselves.
Let me take a few questions here that come through. What stable coins can be used with your platform? So as I said, RemitONE is a facilitator. It's an enabler. We work with different partners, different providers. We support USDC, our partners that we integrate with. We support USDC, USDT, and others. At the same time, we give you access to non-stable coins as well, crypto. We have access to the Stellar network. We have access to the Ripple network through our partners. So there are different solutions we can explore together in conjunction with our partners. But yes, you can use the RemitONE technology to land transactions on these various networks that I just mentioned. And yes, we support USDC and USDT and more. The next question is, RemitONE's offering solutions in Canada? Yes, we do. We have, in fact, our solution has been evaluated by FinTrack, which is a regulator in Canada. We've had clients in the past as well in Canada. We're still talking to clients in that region. It's a very active region. Canada is a very growing region actually for us, because we know this because we're on the ground, right? We interact with customers all the time. We get a lot of inquiries, which is why we are working hard to put a RAS solution in place for Canada as well. Yes, so I hope I've addressed that. I think I think we've addressed all the main questions. So in summary, the RemitONE wallet solution supports wallet-to-wallet transfers, bank account and telco linked wallets, payments for utilities, airtime, and more, connectivity to third-party stablecoin, blockchain rails where needed. So yeah, so I would just like to see if there's any other, if the polls have changed. No, so we're still on the same numbers. We have addressed as many questions as we could. Thank you very much for being an interactive audience. It was, you know, we're now, you know, if there's anything else, if there are any questions you still have, please do share with us via email. If you wish to book meetings with us, I'm going to share the Calendly link. This is a snapshot of our vast ecosystem, the companies, you know, and banks and money transfer operators worldwide that RemitONE connects to. And our clients are there as well that use the RemitONE platform. And sorry, yeah, and here's a, if you can scan this, you can book a Calendly meeting with us. You can always email us at sales@remitone.com or simply pick up the phone and dial +44 208 099 5795. We look forward to speaking to you. Thank you very much.